The battle that's long been brewing at Gearbox Software is finally ready for release, but we won't be able to issue a verdict for another few days. I recently played through Battleborn's story-driven cooperative missions in a controlled offline setting, so while I need more time to play the competitive multiplayer, I can offer some concrete impressions of Battleborn's campaign, core gameplay, and jam-packed character roster. Ostensibly, the game is a first-person shooter, but only a handful of its 25 heroes actually wield guns. Several have no ranged attacks at all, opting instead for melee weapons such as ancient war axes, futuristic katanas, or massive mechanical fists. Still others function mainly as support units, absorbing damage, healing allies, and stripping away enemy shields. The variety of mechanics on offer is, at first, totally overwhelming. If you roll into battle without reading up on your character's weapons and abilities, you'll frequently find yourself saying, "I have no idea what I just did." However, I found that once I got to know a character, I generally fell into a pretty predictable gameplay loop.
I am sustained. You're totally not.
Characters' distinct skills give them a natural role within the chaos. Melee attackers charge right in, healers follow up behind and try to keep them alive, snipers offer cover from a distance, and so on. I ended up relying mostly on mid-range damage dealers, which meant repeatedly draining my clip into bad guys, deploying my special attacks as soon as their cooldown timers expired, and retreating to let my shield recharge whenever necessary. Battleborn's AI enemies are, for the most part, mindless fodder that simply charge straight at you, so I never really needed to change up my tactics, especially since my teammates were able to cover all the bases I couldn't. As a result, Battleborn's action feels not quite mindless, but certainly fast and arcadey, far more frantic run and gun than strategic stop and pop. In some ways, this repetition made the gameplay feel rote, but with a full 5-man team, the action remains surprisingly satisfying. Enemies stream in from all directions before colorful bursts of energy explode from your allies to meet the charge. You dash at extreme speeds around obstacles and dive onto cartoonish villains with invigorating ferocity. Together, your team beats a boss to a pulp so efficiently he can't even counterattack. There's enough going on that I always felt empowered and entertained, and when I grew tired of throwing out the same old supers, I just switched to a new character to start fresh. It's possible this character hopping approach won't be enough to sustain players' interest in the long run, especially given the relative simplicity of the gameplay once you surmount a character's initial learning curve. But in theory, the competitive multiplayer's hero-on-hero matchups should force players to find creative ways to utilize the skills that become routine when fighting off baddies in the campaign. That's exactly why I still need to dig into the competitive multiplayer before I can offer a firm verdict. With more characters to try, more customization options to unlock, and many hours of multiplayer left to play, Battleborn's true potential could still lie ahead. So check back later this week for more analysis and our final score.